some more.
Yo, what's good, people? Izzy Max here, back again for another Draft League match. As you can see, we are on Showdown now. This is the SBL. This is a league that I created and helped run. But this season we did something a little different. We are going to the National Dex format, but instead of just a normal draft, each coach had to draft in a certain generation. Luckily, when the pick fell to me, Gen 1 was still on the board, so that is what I ended up picking. And the 6 I'm bringing against my opponent, who ended up drafting Gen 5, is Blastoise. Blastoise's coverage after a Shell Smash should OHKO, if not two-shot, everything he has. It is Focus Sash to make sure I do get up that Shell Smash. It is going to be my lead. Next up is Dragonite. This was actually my first overall pick. Dragonite is really kind of good in a meta that doesn't have so many answers to it because you are drafting in one generation. But with Dragonite, I can run Weakness Policy, Multiscale, or I can run a subset upset, which is what I'm running this week. Next, we have Hitmonlee. I just needed a fighting type with some Rapid Spin or default coverage, so that is what ended up falling to me. Next up is my Ninetales. This is one of my last picks, but because we don't have to Mega first turn, my next pick was Venusaur. So I don't have to Mega Venusaur, and I will have a Chlorophyll Venusaur with my Ninetales. Ninetales still does hit pretty hard, and it is relatively fast. And then lastly, this week I'm bringing Nidoqueen. This is my Rock Setter. Really, I was just struggling to find a 6th Mon, and Nidoqueen was like just there. And his team is relatively weak to ground with Terrakion, Excadrill, and Gigalith. And it does get ice coverage for the rest of what he has. And the Audino is a Mega Audino, so I did need to check the Fairy type. For my opponent, he is bringing Mega Audino, Excadrill, Gigalith, Hydreigon, Terrakion, and Sigilith. The way these leagues are going to work, I already played my match, so this will be a post-commentary. That might change in the future since this is more of a for fun league. But I am bringing back questions of the day, and this week's question is, what is your favorite Pokemon? Mine is Tyranitar. It's always been T-Tar, such a cool Mon. Use it a lot in VGC and whatnot. If you want to answer, please leave it in the comment section down below. Also, if you would like to suggest the question to be on my next video, put it down there as well, and if it makes it, I'll give you a shout out in that video as well. And before we get into the match, feel free to leave a like. It does help the channel grow, and let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So here, like I said, I am going to just lead off with my Blastoise. There's not much he has on his team that can one-shot me, and vice versa. I can two-shot everything he has after a Shell Smash. So he does that, and luckily we live. We would have lived anyway, like I said, with the Focus Sash, but this helps us live a couple turns from the sand. He brings in Hydreigon, trying to read a Surf. I guess he was thinking I guess he was expecting me to think he was going into his Terrakion or his Gigalith, but instead, I just one-shot the Hydreigon, so that's one threat out of the way. Gigalith goes down to Sturdy and is able to set up the rocks. Not too worried about it in this matchup. The one thing that was kind of threatening my team, or my teammates that are weak to rocks, is gone already, as I do knock down the Gigalith, so now I am only threatened by 3 turns of sand for the Excadrill and the Terrakion, but the Terrakion does just go down here. I don't think my Blastoise would be faster than the Excadrill, so in my eyes, I think my opponent kind of pulled the trigger on Excadrill a little too late. But Audino is one of the Mons that will be able to live 2 of my stab serves. So Audino is going to be able to live and take out my Blastoise. But instead of giving him a chance to actually use his Excadrill, I am just going to go straight out into my Ninetales, as what he has left, again, gets two-shot by Ninetales. Sigilith here on the switch-in, takes 50, and this is just a normal heavy-duty boots Ninetales, and it's able to two-shot the Sigilith, which is a big deal. If I let that Sigilith get out of the way, it would have been a very big handful, as I do just also one-shot the Excadrill, which is huge. And then lastly, all he has left is the Audino, and I'm able to knock it out with the last Heat Wave. So that's going to be the game this week. I don't remember who I'm playing next week or what gen. I think it's Gen 4, but I could be mistaken. But if you enjoyed the video, like I said, please feel free to leave a like, answer the question of the day, or just request a question for next week, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.